Hi guys, I'm Dave and welcome to Wimborne Boxing Club's channel. If we haven't met before, welcome. And just to let you know that we are dedicated to bringing you the very best in virtual pad workouts, in boxing tutorials, in boxing product reviews and Coach's Corner. Being Friday, today is Coach's Corner. If you like the sound of that, why don't you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell next to it, and you will be notified every time we post a video. Okay, so like I say, it's Friday. Today we are putting out a Coach's Corner video. Now, if you follow us on Instagram, then you would have seen this on our story. If you don't follow us on Instagram, check out our profile. We do share quite a lot of stuff, so why don't you go along, hit up Instagram and give us a follow after the video. So today, as I've just shown you, we are talking about looking good drills versus actual realism. So something you can actually transfer into sparring now and into your bout. Now, I have used obviously Floyd Mayweather, and he's very well known for his pad drills and his long combinations. The question is, now this is obviously one extreme, this is probably very extreme, but the question I have to ask is, how does that transfer over into bouts and well, into sparring first and then into bouts? Now, this whole topic does open loads more questions, which again could be further videos, but I'm going to try and stick to the point of looking good versus realism. So, like I say, the Mayweather pad work is a perfect example of that. Lots of fancy defenses, fancy counter punching. Does that transfer across into a spar or into an actual bout? No, it doesn't. Don't get me wrong, obviously Mayweather was probably one of the, is maybe still, or was definitely pound for pound, the best boxer of his time. Was that due to his pad work? No, I don't think so. End of the day, none of that transfers over. So his sparring would have been the reason, his quality of sparring and the process in which he's gone through. He started young and he's gone right the way through. He's had a lot of bouts, a lot of sparring. That is what has made him, and natural ability, obviously, natural talent. That is what has made him into the boxer that he is today, not all the fancy pad work. So basically, it's the stuff you probably see off the camera, which isn't as glamorous, or stuff they can't really put out there, sparring, that has made him and turned him into the boxer that he is today, not the fancy pad work. So we have now youngsters and some coaches that love to put together all these long combinations, but you've got to ask yourself, does that transfer into a bout? Am I helping my athlete with these drills? Are they transferable at all? And if the question is, or the answer, sorry, is no, then we've got to be asking ourselves, why are we doing these drills? So at the moment, obviously, a lot of us are in lockdown and we can't do any kind of pad drills anyway. But now ask yourself, are the drills I'm doing transferable over into a bout and into a sparring? Which this kind of has a little bit of overlap to what we talked about last week, was the question why. So again, going back to sort of this week's topic, you've got to make sure that the drills that you're doing do transfer over. So we could be looking at maybe drills that require decision making. So hitting a pad, there's no decision for the boxer to be made. So you could even question, is pad work actually a great drill to be doing when we're preparing for bouts and preparing for sparring? Don't get me wrong, pad work 100% plays a part in training. But as a coach, we've got to look at how big a part does it play, and how are we making it transferable, and when are we using it in a boxer's progression? So lots of different questions you can ask yourself about pad holding. But if we are going to be doing pads for our boxers, which of course we will, we got to understand what we're trying to work on. Are we trying to work on a technique? And that's fine. Are we trying to work on a bit of fitness, a bit of conditioning? All that's fine. But like I say, as coaches, we've got to know why we're taking our boxer on the pads. But if we actually really want to prepare our boxer for sparring and for bouts, and the drills we've got to be doing have got to be I personally believe, decision-making drills. So none of this isolated technique training, which again I posted about yesterday. They've got to be decision-making drills, which will then transfer over into sparring and into bouts. So yeah, you see a lot of coaches out there, and maybe it is literally just for the camera. With long combinations. I know I've done it. It looks good on social media, but are they the only drills that I'm doing to prepare my boxers for competing? Of course they're not. We do lots of sparring, and like I say, we do lots of drills where decision making is key. So really, today's video was just again to question: are the drills I'm doing to look, the drills I'm doing for with my boxers, are they drills that they can take the techniques and skills that they learn? Can they transfer this into a bout or into sparring, or are they more fitness drills and more really to look good on camera and look good to the other people watching? So really ask yourself that as a coach. Sit down and think, how would this drill transfer over to competing? And then if it doesn't mean the drill's no good. It just means maybe you need to tweak it a little bit to put more emphasis on the athlete and to make it more of an athlete-led drill where they have to make decisions, they have to think for themselves, and they have to adapt to situations, and then it's more transferable over. Pretty short video, to be fair, today, but it does open up loads of different avenues. We talked about isolated training techniques. We talked about that. So that's a video in itself. So there are a few other things, a few other questions that we could probably ask, even how effective is pad work for a boxer's training? How effective shadow boxing? How effective is bag work? All these things. We could put videos together and talk in more depth, but like I say, the coach's corner is the idea of just putting something out there, giving you something to think about, and then commenting below your thoughts. Like I say, everyone's got an opinion. This is just my opinion, and I love to speak to other coaches or even other boxers. Tell me what you think, but comment below. Let's have a debate, let's have a discussion, and let's see what we come up with. But I do believe we can all help each other out, so like I said, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Right, that is it for Coach's Corner. Nice and quick, just thought I'd get the job done, get it out there for you. If you haven't subscribed and you like what we talked about, then obviously subscribe, hit the bell, get a notification. Just before we finish then, rather than move on, why don't you look at our previous video? We only started these a few weeks ago. Why don't you look at our previous video, which is down in this corner, I believe, which is last week's. We talk about the why. So this is a great follow-on or even a start to the series. And if you haven't already, and I've just mentioned it earlier, give us a subscribe. Guys, thanks for watching. Look forward to your feedback. See you soon.